Did you know that in the United States alone, the average household with credit card debt carries a balance of nearly $7,951? And here's the shocking part. Many of those balances started small, often with beginners who thought they were using their first credit card the right way. The truth is, a single wrong move with credit cards can snowball into years of debt, a damaged credit score, and endless financial stress. But the good news? Almost all of it is preventable if you know what to avoid. In today's video, we're going to break down the top 5 credit card mistakes beginners make. If you're new to credit cards, or maybe you just got your first one, this is going to be one of the most important lessons you hear about personal finance. Why? Because credit cards aren't just plastic pieces you swipe to buy things. They are powerful financial tools. They can help you build credit, earn rewards, and even protect you in emergencies. But they can also trap you in cycles of debt if used incorrectly. When people don't understand how credit cards work, they often set themselves up for years of frustration. They make small, innocent mistakes, missing a payment, carrying a balance, or applying for too many cards at once, and suddenly their financial future takes a hit they didn't see coming. I want you to avoid that. I want you to not just use credit cards, but use them wisely so they become tools for building your financial freedom instead of chains holding you back. So in this video, I'll walk you through the 5 most common mistakes beginners make with credit cards. We'll look at real-world examples, explain why these mistakes happen, and most importantly, give you clear, actionable tips to avoid them. By the end of this video, you'll feel confident about managing your card, protecting your credit, and staying in control of your money. Credit cards are often marketed as symbols of financial independence. For many beginners, getting that first shiny piece of plastic in the mail feels like a milestone, like you've officially entered adulthood. But what isn't advertised nearly as much are the hidden traps that come with credit card use. Here's the reality. Credit cards aren't free money. They're borrowed money. And while that seems obvious when you say it out loud, the problem is how deceptively easy it feels to swipe or tap a card. You don't see the cash leaving your wallet, so your brain processes spending differently. Before you know it, you've racked up balances you didn't plan for. On top of that, many beginners face the challenge of confusion and misinformation. Maybe a friend says, just pay the minimum, you'll be fine. Or maybe you hear that carrying a balance helps your credit score. Spoiler alert, that's completely false. These myths lead beginners down paths that damage their financial health without them realizing it. The consequences, they can be severe. One missed payment could lower your credit score significantly. High balances can trap you in years of interest payments, and applying for too many cards too fast can make you look like a risky borrower in the eyes of lenders. So the challenge for beginners then is balance, learning to use credit cards for their benefits without falling into the traps. Most people don't get proper financial education before they start using credit cards. Schools don't usually teach it, parents may not always explain it, and banks make more money when customers don't fully understand how interest and fees work. This lack of education leaves beginners vulnerable. They end up learning the hard way through trial, error, and expensive mistakes. But you don't have to. That's why this video exists. My goal is to give you the knowledge up front so you can sidestep those pitfalls before they happen. So now that we framed the challenge, let's dive into the top 5 credit card mistakes beginners make and, most importantly, how to avoid them.
One of the biggest traps beginners fall into is thinking that paying the minimum balance is good enough. You've probably seen it on your statement, minimum due $35, or something small like that. It feels manageable, right? Almost like the bank is giving you a little breathing room. But here's the catch. That's exactly what the credit card companies want you to believe. When you only pay the minimum, the majority of your balance starts building interest, often at rates between 18% and 29% APR. To put this into perspective, let's say you owe $1,000 and your APR is 20%. If you only make minimum payments of, let's say, $30, It could take you over 3 years to pay off that balance, and you'll end up paying hundreds of dollars extra in interest. That's money that could have gone into savings, investments, or even just treating yourself to something you love. So, how to avoid this mistake? Always aim to pay your balance in full every month. If you can't, at least pay more than the minimum to chip away at the principal faster. Think of the minimum payment as a trap. It keeps you in debt longer and makes the banks richer at your expense. Mistake number 2, carrying a balance because you think it helps your credit score. This is one of the most common myths beginners believe. Maybe you've heard someone say, you need to carry a balance to build credit. The idea is that leaving some debt on your card makes you look responsible. But here's the truth. Carrying a balance does nothing positive for your credit score. Zero, nada, nothing. Your credit score is impacted by credit utilization, the percentage of available credit you're using, payment history, length of credit history, types of credit, and new credit inquiries. Nowhere in that formula does carrying a balance give you extra points. In fact, carrying a balance increases your utilization ratio and can actually hurt your score. Plus, you'll be stuck paying unnecessary interest. So, how to avoid this mistake? Pay off your card in full. If you want to build credit, focus on keeping your utilization under 30% of your available limit and always make on-time payments. That's what lenders really care about. Mistake number 3, missing or making late payments. Life gets busy. Maybe you forget a due date, or maybe money's a little tight one month, so you think, I'll just pay late, no big deal. But here's the problem. Even a single late payment can have a massive impact. Credit bureaus record payment history, and it makes up 35% of your FICO score, the largest single factor. Missing one payment could drop your score by 50 to 100 points. On top of that, late fees can cost you $25 to $40. And if you're more than 60 days late, your interest rate could spike to a penalty APR, sometimes over 30%. Imagine paying 30% interest just because you forgot to set a reminder. So how to avoid this mistake? Set up automatic payments. Even if it's just the minimum due, autopay ensures you'll never miss a deadline. Then, when possible, log in and pay the full balance. You can also set calendar reminders or notifications on your banking app. Don't leave this to memory. Systems are your friend. Mistake number 4, applying for too many cards too quickly. For beginners, it can feel exciting to apply for multiple cards, especially when you see flashy advertisements. Get 5% cash back or earn a $300 bonus. But here's the problem. Every time you apply for a credit card, the issuer runs a hard inquiry on your credit report. Too many of those in a short time makes you look risky to lenders, and it can drop your score. Additionally, juggling multiple cards before you've learned to manage one can lead to confusion, missed payments, and overspending. Beginners sometimes spread themselves too thin, chasing rewards and bonuses without realizing the long-term consequences. So, how to avoid this mistake? Start with one card. Learn to manage it responsibly for at least 6 to 12 months before considering another. Once you're confident and your score improves, then think about diversifying with the second card. Slow and steady always wins here. Mistake number 5, ignoring the fine print and fees. Here's the one most people overlook. Credit cards come with terms and conditions that are often pages long and full of jargon. Beginners skip reading them, but buried inside are details about annual fees, balance transfer fees, cash advance fees, foreign transaction fees, and more. These can add up quickly. For example, taking a cash advance might seem like a quick fix if you need cash fast, but many cards charge a fee up front plus a higher interest rate that starts accumulating immediately, no grace period. Suddenly, that $200 you withdrew could cost you $260 or more. Or consider foreign transaction fees. If your card charges 3% and you spend $2,000 abroad, that's an extra $60 gone just because you didn't know your card wasn't travel-friendly. So how to avoid this mistake? Always read the terms and understand your card's fees. If you're unsure, call the issuer and ask. Choose cards that align with your lifestyle. If you travel often, pick a no foreign transaction fee card. If you hate fees, choose a no annual fee option. Knowledge is power here. So those are the top 5 mistakes. Only paying the minimum balance, carrying a balance to build credit, missing or making late payments, applying for too many cards too quickly, ignoring the fine print and fees. Each of these may seem small on their own, but together they can create a financial storm that's hard to escape. If I had to point out just one mistake, the single most critical one that can absolutely wreck a beginner's financial future, it would be this: missing payments and letting debt snowball. Why this one above all the others? Because it combines two of the most destructive forces in personal finance: interest and time. Here's how it happens. You miss a payment, maybe because you were busy or thought you could catch up next month. That one slip turns into a late fee, which then grows into interest charges. The balance you thought you could handle suddenly looks bigger. Then maybe you pay less than you should the next month, and the snowball effect begins.
Credit card interest isn't like other types of debt. With rates often near 20% or higher, your balance can double in just a few years if you only make partial or late payments. Let's break it down with an example. Suppose you charge $2,000 on your card and miss a couple of payments, so you fall behind and start making only minimum payments. At 20% interest, it could take you more than 17 years to pay off that balance, and you'd end up paying over $4,000 in interest alone. That's more than double what you originally spent. And here's the kicker: the damage isn't just about money. Missed payments get reported to the credit bureaus. That negative mark can stay on your credit report for 7 years. During that time, it can affect your ability to get a car loan, qualify for a mortgage, or even secure a job in certain industries. One late payment can literally close doors for years to come. This is why I call it the most critical mistake. Because while overspending, chasing rewards, or even paying unnecessary fees can set you back, missing payments creates a long-lasting chain reaction. It's the one mistake that can both cost you the most money and damage your credit score the most severely. A double hit that's hard to recover from. The key lesson: protect your payment history at all costs. Even if you can only make the minimum 1 month, make sure it's on time. Missing payments isn't just about the money in your account, it's about your entire financial reputation. We've covered a lot of ground today, and if there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this: credit cards are tools. Like any tool, they can either help you build something valuable or cause serious damage if misused. Let's quickly recap the top 5 mistakes beginners make with credit cards. Mistake number 1: only paying the minimum balance. This keeps you trapped in debt and paying interest for years. Always aim to pay in full. Mistake number 2: carrying a balance to build credit. A myth that costs you money. Your credit score doesn't need you to owe anything. It rewards you for paying responsibly. Mistake number 3: missing or making late payments. The most damaging mistake of all. Protect your payment history. It's the foundation of your credit score. Mistake number 4: applying for too many cards too quickly. This makes you look risky to lenders and can tank your score early on. Build slowly and responsibly. Mistake number 5: ignoring the fine print and fees. Those little charges add up fast. Understanding your card's terms keeps you in control. And of course, the climax or key moment. The most critical mistake is missing payments and letting debt snowball because it combines high interest with long-lasting damage to your credit score. The bottom line: credit cards don't have to be scary. When used wisely, they can help you build credit, earn rewards, and give you flexibility in your financial life. But they demand respect. One careless habit can spiral into years of unnecessary debt and stress. So if you're just starting out, think of your credit card as a short-term loan you must pay back each month. That simple mindset
Borrow and repay in full is what separates financially strong individuals from those who fall into the traps. So take these lessons seriously. Your future self, the one buying a home, financing a car, or building wealth, will thank you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's been your experience with credit cards so far? Have you ever made one of these mistakes or maybe learned a hard lesson the first time you used a card? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and your experience could help someone else avoid making the same mistake. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button. It really supports the channel and tells me to keep making videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on practical tips for mastering your money. If you're ready to keep learning, check out my other videos on personal finance. I've got guides on budgeting, saving, and even how to start investing, all designed to help you build financial confidence step by step. Remember, your financial future isn't built in one day, but the choices you make today, like avoiding these credit card mistakes, will shape where you end up tomorrow. Stay smart, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.